My name is Kris Lengieza. I am the Senior Director of Business Development for Procore, and I work on our partnerships team. I think that I have maybe one of the coolest jobs in construction tech because I get to work with all of the partners and all of the solutions and all the service providers that help our great industry move forward and adopt technology and really do that in a meaningful way that will improve their businesses. I don't have to tell probably anybody here this, but construction is increasingly complex, right? There are tons of stakeholders. There's a lot of interesting dynamics. We're super mobile, more now than we ever have been before, and extremely decentralized. And then there's constant change. Some would even say that the only constant is change on a construction project. And if you look at this, you're just seeing the stakeholders that are potentially participating in a project, but it very much could be the systems, and it very much so could be the tools that are necessary to get a project done as well, because we weave this web of individuals and technologies that we must connect in order to deliver on the job we're trying to get done. And the one thing that I always like to harp on is that the way that we are building today has evolved significantly. I mean, I came from about 15 years of construction experience. I worked for general contractors from some of the top 25 E&R companies to, big regional contractors as well. And when I started, I still remember copying over markups between sets of shop drawings, 6 sets, green marker all over my shirt, all over my hands, because I was copying markups and RFIs and submittal notes between sets of plans. And then we went through what was a significant change for many of us, which is the introduction of kind of internet and mobile and a lot of the first iterations of construction technology applications. And we took advantage of a lot of that by being able to share and collaborate. Egnyte was at the forefront of this, as well as they were one of the first players that really focused on the construction industry for a digital document management and file management system. And so because of those things, we are now able to have access to a lot more data and information. And what that delivers to us is insight. It tells us where to look. It tells us how to better run our projects. It tells us how to make your job easier. It tells us, are we getting better at what we're doing? And did the changes that we make actually work? And so it's incredibly important for us to have access to this data and have access to these insights. And that's how we will continue to move the industry forward. But a lot of people still struggle with the ability to get their hands on these insights. They struggle with the ability to bring together all of the information that is available to them on a project, and more so bring that information together in a system that they can easily use for anyone, whether they are a field worker, a collaborator at an engineering firm or an owner, or they are a general contractor who is leading the project forward. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that there's been a very patchwork approach to delivering technology to the industry. It's fragmented. It doesn't provide for a lot of visibility to everyone. You pay per user license potentially, and it can be costly. So it becomes difficult for us to connect those people on the project from the office to the field. And we need to focus on delivering something that is a bit more secure, that is more connected, that we are open and flexible with, so that we can actually take advantage of all the information that we have. So how do you go about connecting all these people, all that technology, and all those projects to build better? Well, you need to start with things like platforms, right? And this is why Procore, really invested early in developing a platform to connect projects and people and partners like Egnyte on that single platform, so that we could deliver a single source of truth of information that points us how to run the project. And that includes things like incorporating our marketplace partners. Egnyte, great example, how they're able to bring their embedded experience and their synchronization of documents into the Procore ecosystem, so that we can then continue to launch those documents into other workflows, whether that be RFIs and submittals, or that be into our inspections and photos, right? And all of that allows us to then layer on top of it analytics and insights that we can deliver to you so that you can better understand what's happening on your project at any given moment. But it wouldn't be possible without the platform that lives underneath it and the ability for folks to leverage the APIs and build integrations so that we can deliver what truly are more meaningful workflows to you, the end user. And so, we have over 300 partners on our marketplace today. And I wish I could name every single one of them, but I can't get to all of them. But I just wanted to point out the fact that we touch construction technology in just about every single area that you can think of. If there's a technology out there that's helping you get something done on a job site or helping you get something done in the office or that makes your job a little bit easier, we don't want it to feel like it's siloed and separated from you. We want it to bring it together so that we can deliver a joint solution that is better for you at the end of the day. And we've worked really strongly with some of these partners, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what we've done with Egnyte so far to deliver an even better customer experience, so that we are listening and getting feedback from you, the end user, on what it is that you want and how you want to work so that we can make that just a little bit easier. And what this has done for us, well, this means that our users are actually taking advantage of these integrations, right? We're well over 70% of our customers using at least one integration. And the number of you that are using 3, 4, 5, and beyond is pretty staggering as well. And we're really excited about that because it shows that bringing solutions together delivers a better workflow that delivers more value to your project, to your employees, and to basically everyone who has to be an end user of that project at the end of the day anyways. So let's talk about Procore Egnyte. Procore and Egnyte came together, a little over 2 years ago. I think we started talking about the potential of an integration. I was always really excited for this because I came from construction, right? And so I knew Egnyte. I lived and breathed it on projects. I had friends that, convinced me about how great the platform really was for construction and what made it different, right? And it wasn't just one of those horizontal document storage solutions. It was built with the use cases and the users in mind, those people who have to actually execute on a project. And so it was a natural home for the two of us to come together and build out an integration that you could leverage both the really strong construction management platform that Procore is and the Egnyte platform that is your document repository, and bring those two things together so that you could better engage everyone on the project. So there's really a couple different ways that we're seeing customers leverage this today. And these are some of the integrations that we have. Let's start off with the Egnyte Sync, right? So at the end of the day, this is a bi-directional sync. It moves documents back and forth between the two systems so that you constantly have an accurate representation of what is in Procore documents inside of Egnyte, and vice versa. And no matter who you are, and no matter what department you're in, or what stakeholder you are or collaborator, you can leverage either one of those solutions and the numerous ecosystem partners that each of us have to better work on the documents and the records that are inside of each of those platforms. Now, you can pick and choose. How do you want to sync folders? How do you want to sync projects? Do you only want to sync certain files? Do you only want to sync certain folders or certain project? And this gives you a lot of flexibility and a lot of power. But this also allows you to meet a lot of the data governance and file permissioning that Egnyte is so strong on. Some of the things that many of you want to take better control on when you share documents outside of the Procore ecosystem or outside of your project. And you also have the enhanced document revision controls that are there inside of Egnyte that you can take advantage as well. And all of those revisions are kept in sync between the two platforms. So it doesn't matter if I open something up from within inside of Procore into the Office 365 integration and make some edits and then save it back, or if I open and make those same exact changes or different changes than from Egnyte and one of the editing platforms that they're integrated with as well. And possibly one of the coolest features about this is, and one of the things that really drew me to Egnyte early on as I was working with them as a contractor, was their hybrid sync, the ability for us to bring data down to a job site, to a local server, so that you could work on it in real time and leverage sometimes what is the limited bandwidth that you have available to you on that job site. So don't have every single person syncing those files all the time. Have them sync to a central server where 20 or 30 people might be working across a couple trailers and have access to that, and then leverage that to keep that in sync with the cloud so that others back in the home office or others that are leveraging Procore can take advantage of that as well. Now, that's only one way that you can leverage the Procore integration with Egnyte. The other way is leveraging our Egnyte Embedded application. This allows you to bring the entire Egnyte UI inside of Procore. Now, what's really cool about this is that it looks and feels like Egnyte because it is. You are taking that application, you bring it inside of Procore, and users can access that from our embedded application menu right inside of Procore. So you can open up all of the functionality and all of the integrations that Egnyte has developed right from within inside of Procore's UI. Now, we've also seen people leverage these two tools together by bringing together the embedded application, the document sync, and some will even turn off the document tool inside of Procore altogether. But it gives you that access to relevant project folders, and not just for your project, but other potentially company standard folders and company directories and documentation, all while still respecting those granular permissions, all from that one location. And this is extremely powerful for our users because it allows us to extend our platform to one of the most powerful and one of the most purpose-built for our industry cloud document solutions for our teams, right? And so they can take advantage of this as much as possible. Now, we know that there are a lot of people that are taking advantage of this, but I want to call attention to potentially a few individuals, companies that we know are already seeing the advantages of this, right? Robbins and Morton and David Pratt, I've known for a while, said, we've reduced the challenges we had in the field with accessing and creating large files, as well as strong and archiving project documentation by integrating our existing apps with Egnyte. This supports our team's ability to efficiently plan and execute projects. Now, bringing these things together is not just about having an integration that you use one time, right? That saves you one click. This is about changing the way that technology works together so that we can better resolve our workflows and get the most out of our projects. We all spend a good amount of money and a good amount of our, of our hard-earned dollars on implementing these technologies. And we have to make sure that they are getting a significant return on investment. So it's great to see that companies like Robbins and Morton and Alberici and others, Tudor Perini, are taking advantage of these types of integrations so they can get the most out of their investments. And at the end of the day, what are we really trying to do when we leverage a platform? What is it that we're actually trying to deliver on? Well, we're actually trying to deliver more work, right? With less people, right? And so we do that by saving people time. We do that by saving them the number of hours that they have to spend on a job site. Remember that I told you we think about things in people terms, right? I'm a contractor. I'm also a father, right? And I have 2 little kids. You might even be able to hear them yelling in the background right now, and that's okay. But the reality of it is, we work in an industry that is extremely hard and extremely demanding. We have to make sure that we do things as efficiently as possible so that we can spend more time with our families, so we can improve the product that we deliver at the end of the day, but we don't have to work literally around the clock to get it done. And so anything that we can do to actually improve efficiency and deliver more value at the same time is really important. And our abilities to make it more standardized and make it easier for our users to take advantage of only increases visibility, and really at the end of the day also protects us against a lot of risk. So I wanted to say thank you all for spending some time with me today and hearing a little bit about my pitch about Procore and also about how the Procore and Egnyte integration works. We encourage you to go over to the Egnyte page around the integration and learn a bit more about how to install it and get it set up. So I want to say thank you for your time today and appreciate everybody joining us